Hey guys, and welcome to In the Stew. I'm your host, DejahBoo, and I got my boy NBP Skye. Go
How's
ahead
it
and
going?
introduce yourself.
My name is NBP Skye. I'm an artist coming out of Northeast Ohio. Um, not kind of rap, but I kind of blur with rock. I'd say I'm similar to like an Ian Dior or Kid Leroy. Um, and yeah, thanks for having me today.
Of course, and thank you for reaching out. I know that you were referred to me by Tay 3 times, right?
Yeah, I've been talking to him over DM because I saw he's from Cleveland too. I saw he was on the podcast, so I reached out.
And since you guys have been talking, do you guys have any music coming out, or is it just strictly like, you guys are just communicating?
We do not have anything yet. I think we're going to record something in the future though.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what I like to hear. I mean, like reaching out, seeing these interviews and reaching out and connecting. I mean, that's the whole point of the podcast, really. So I think that's
Yeah.
dope. So I had an interesting question. So what does NBP stand for?
Okay, so in high school a couple years ago, back when it was like NLE Choppa coming out, YNW
Right.
Melly, me and
Mm-hmm.
my boys wanted like just some stupid name. So my friend Slinch just said like NBP Newborn Players. Honestly, it doesn't even like mean anything special, but we kind of just rolled with it. I used to just be called Skye when I first started making music, but I threw the NBP on top of that.
Right. No, I think that's dope. So are you guys like a group, like, like an artist, producer, engineer, like stuff like that? Or is it just,
I'm the only one that messed around with music in that group. We're just kind of friends, but it's just kind of part of the identity of like who I surround myself with and just being a part of that group, bringing them up with me. You know what I mean?
right, right. No, I think it's dope. I mean, I like the concept. And what was it called? What was it stand for again?
Newborn Players.
Yeah, no, I think that's so dope. And it makes you stand out because people are going to, like I said, they're going to question that. Like, what does that mean? And you can definitely roll with that?
Yeah, for sure.
No, for sure. So how long have you been doing music?
So I started, I think November of 2017.
Okay.
But to be honest, like back then the music was not good. It was just me kind of learning things. Um, and then as the time went on, like my music got a little bit better. Like my mixes got a little bit more clean. My flow got a little bit better.
Right.
But I think honestly, I have 3 songs out on all platforms right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4, my bad. The first 3 I think aren't like who I am. It was me kind of trying to find my sound, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Um, I dropped a song called FaceTime last month,
Right.
and it has kind of that rock like Ian Dior type vibe, and that's what I'm trying to roll with now because I think that's what my sound is. But yeah, up until this year, it's been me trying to find my sound and me like perfecting everything.
Right. No, because I was listening to, the 3 songs. I normally use Spotify. So I was on Spotify and I really loved Gotta Get It. I think out
Yeah,
of the 3 songs, like that was your best one. And I was just like, bro, this dude is like real deal. Like that flow that you have is crazy. I was like,
yeah,
you came out
that
hot. I was
was
like, oh shit.
that was the first song that I dropped on all platforms.
Mm-hmm.
When I made that jump from just uploading on SoundCloud to Gotta Get It on all platforms, that was like the biggest jump in my music in terms of just the quality.
Right.
So when I made Gotta Get It, I showed my friends, asked for some opinions. They all fucked with it. So I got that on all platforms. And then I dropped Know Me. I don't know if you listened to that one.
Yeah, I listened to all
Um,
of them.
yeah, the Know Me and Change Lanes were kind of me just experimenting with the sound.
Right.
Definitely Gotta Get It. I like that kind of fast, like hard Logic type vibe too.
Yes.
Um, if I'm not making like one of those melodic rocky type songs, definitely I'm going with like the Gotta Get It type.
Right, right. Because like I now that you're saying that, I can hear it within the 3 songs. And I was looking on your page and I saw that you dropped a song called Puerto Rico, but I didn't find it. Do you know where you can find that one, or did that not drop?
Did you look on SoundCloud?
No, like I said, I only use Spotify.
Oh,
I didn't, but that is
yeah.
that
All
one
right, my
on
bad. That
SoundCloud?
that one's on SoundCloud. That one's not on all platforms. Um, I recorded that during quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of having like writer's block. I couldn't get any music written. I tried, but I came out with that one, put it on SoundCloud.
Right.
I just never ended up buying the rights to the beat and putting it on the other platforms.
Oh, okay. But you said that you got a lot of views on that one, so.
Yeah, that honestly, like that was just my mistake. That was just kind of, I looking back on it, should have put it on all platforms. But
Mhm.
again, this whole thing has just been me kind of learning how to navigate through the industry.
Right, of course, you know. So let's talk about the new song FaceTime. I
Yeah,
heard a little snippet before we got on, you know, the one on your page. So, you know, tell us a little bit about the song, like what it's about, you know, the background behind it.
definitely. So it has my friend Drew in it.
Mm-hmm.
We were just making music one day, messing around, and we were just trying to think of like what's something that everyone can relate to. And I know, I mean, it's the songs in the perspective of like me, who's a guy, but everyone always at some point in your life, you have that one person that like you're in love with. They're always on your mind.
Right.
You just can't stop thinking about them, and you want to like talk to them all day, every day. So we came out with FaceTime. It's basically about that. It opens up saying like 3 a.m. hit you with a FaceTime. You told me that you love me. Now you're always on my mind.
Right.
So yeah,
And is that your girl that you're FaceTiming with, the voice in the beginning?
yeah, that is my girl, Alexis.
Okay, so how did she feel about being on the song? Was she like nervous when she was recording or?
Um, so she was excited. She's been with me since I dropped my first song on like all platforms. Got to get
Mhm.
it, and she's been supporting me through everything. So when we made this track, we had everything laid down except for the intro.
Right,
And then I was just listening to it. I was like, this would be perfect to have like her call me, and then say like hello, just as kind of that introduction.
right.
So yeah, she was real excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, I was actually, when I first started doing this podcast, one of my producer friends who was actually on the podcast, he wanted me to do a drop for him. And now he uses my voice as his drop for everything. And I was like,
Oh,
oh, okay.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So, you know, I kind of feel for that, you know, not really being in the music side, like on an actual track and then being excited. So I think that's pretty cool. And that you're allowing her to be in your world as well.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely the people around me that are supporting me through everything. I want to let them all like be involved in everything I do.
Right. And are those people in your group honest? Because I know how some people like they always give you like, yo, this is dope, even though it might not be your best work. Do they give you like honest opinions?
Yes, at first I think everyone was kind of just saying like when I first started making music, people were like, yeah, this is good, this is good. Even though it wasn't, honestly.
Right.
As time went on and my music started getting better, I'd start grilling people like, look, I'm not going to be hurt. Just tell me if something's wrong. I want to perfect everything.
Right.
So now everyone I show my songs to before they drop, they give me honest feedback. And a
Yeah.
lot of times my first track I show everyone is a lot different than the track I publish.
Right. Right. And do they see the difference as well? Like they actually.
Yeah, for sure. When I showed my friend Slinch the FaceTime song when I first made it,
Uh-huh.
he was like, holy shit, like this is nothing like you've done before. Like
Right.
this is actually some crazy stuff. So it's cool just to see how they get excited over like the progress that I'm making as well.
Right. That's what's up, man. That's dope. And the fact that you only started 2 years ago and you're already making progress, like I know it's hard for some, like especially independent artists to, you know, keep going and find their sound. So I think that you're doing a great job, and it's good to hear that you're just elevating, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely
So,
there.
oh,
Oh, go ahead.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I was gonna say if any like new artists are listening, definitely like I'm not gonna say every single day I was motivated to keep going. I've gone through like multiple patches where like I lose all motivation. I'm like, this is never gonna work out. But um I think the best thing is just to keep pushing through. If you need like a couple weeks to take a break and just get your head right, definitely do that. But you just gotta keep pushing through, keep making music, even if you don't think it's like perfect, keep making it because you'll get better over time.
Right, that is some good advice because I know a lot of people, you know, get discouraged when they have writer's block or, you know, they can't find their sound. Like, I think that is really good advice. I just,
Yeah,
you know,
especially when there are kids blowing up off of like 3 tracks now. They'll make three
yeah,
songs and blow up, and you're looking at your work for like 2 years. You're like, well, damn. But
right,
I mean, everyone's journey is different, so you just got to focus on your own.
right. And I just feel like too, like music nowadays. you just need one song or one person to look at it, or, you know, it's always that one thing, and you never know what is going to happen. So that's why I always tell people just to keep going, whether you like it or not. Somebody might like it, whether they're big or small, you know?
One lucky like event can change your life.
Right. Because like these artists now, or these people that are famous now, like I live in LA, so I see it every day. Like, you know, you get big off of TikTok, and now you have a manager, and now you're getting millions of dollars off of one TikTok. So you just never know, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So let me see. So do you like produce, you make your own beats? Like, do you do that all by yourself, or do you have like a team, I guess?
Right now I'm getting beats off YouTube. I tried producing a couple of years ago. I feel like if I stuck to it, I could probably make some good stuff, but I don't think that's my thing. I'm more of just the vocalist.
Right.
I'll scroll through like 50 YouTube beats before I find like the right one that's fitting what I need, and then I'll roll with that.
So how do you record? Do you have a like an in-house studio, or do you go to the studio?
I have like an in-house setup, not like a professional studio, obviously.
Right. No.
But you know, I'm always getting new stuff for it, and the sound's just always getting a little bit better. So
Right. Like you can't even tell either, like with your vocals too. You know how sometimes you can hear like, you know, that was definitely recorded like in the house, not really engineered. Like you can't really hear that at all, actually. So
yeah, I try to spend a lot of time to make sure like the vocals are clean and professional before I publish something.
right, of course. Um, what was I gonna ask? So what is the next step since you dropped FaceTime? Do you have more songs coming out? Do you have a music video for it? Like what's next for you?
So FaceTime, I'm just keep marketing that how it is. I got nothing more coming for FaceTime. I got a track that I'm about to drop, hopefully 2 to 3 weeks. There's just some behind the scenes stuff I got to get fixed with it. I'll have a music video for that. And then I have a third track called Am I Wrong? Also with Raul, who was on FaceTime. That should be dropping either late October, early November. And I've just been recording like a little bit every day, trying to get more stuff so I can just keep on rolling.
Right. So do you plan on making an album soon, or is it just you're just gonna keep dropping singles?
I'm gonna keep dropping singles right now. Once I get a pretty decent following,
Right.
I'm planning on making an album. I got a few tracks that I would like to put on the album, but I don't want to drop them as singles.
Okay. Yeah, no, I think that's a good plan, because you know marketing is everything too. You know, if you don't have the following, who's gonna listen to your music, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that that's a good plan for you. You know, singles are great too, because the following is only gonna get bigger and bigger. So that's a great plan, man. I think, you know,
Sure.
I think, you know, for only being 2 years in, 3 years in, you know, you're definitely on the right path to get somewhere.
Yeah, I'm definitely just looking at like other people's journeys too. Like Russ gives a lot of good information for upcoming artists and just telling you how to kind of navigate through the music industry, I guess.
Right.
Um, Definitely, that's the only example I could think of right now. But
Right. No worries. Well, what I was gonna ask, like, who are like influencers or like motivational people, like artist wise, that you look up to in the music industry?
so definitely MGK. Just obviously being like a Cleveland boy.
Right.
Um, I like how he blurs the line between like rap and rock music. And how he's just kind of unique. Like he's his own person. He doesn't fit with like what the typical music is nowadays.
Right.
Um, Definitely Drake, just in terms of how big he is and how he continues to dominate like year after year, and you don't think like his run's ever gonna end.
Right.
That's definitely like something I strive for one day. Um, there's this kid Wyatt and Flo out of Cleveland. If you know him, that kid's inspirational because I mean he's only 16. He's doing big numbers on all of his songs. Um,
Right.
he's just got great music.
Okay, so those are your top three?
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah. No, those are good. How do you feel about the music today? Like stuff that you hear on the radio or just stuff in general? Like, do you like the new music today or do you feel like it needs to change?
I like it. I feel like there's so many artists out right now. No matter like what type of rap that you like, you're gonna find somebody that makes it. Um, I'm more into the melodic stuff. There's like rappers like the Baby, Son of Fort Vegas that are kind of popping right now.
Yeah,
Not really my type of music. I'll still listen to them.
right.
But I listen to a lot of like Kid Laroi, Ian Dior, Juice World, stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that.
Right. Yeah, they seem to be a topic this, especially with like the kind of sound that you have. I've heard a lot of people listen to like Juice World and XXX and who's the other guy? I can't even think of his name right now, but like that kind of genre of music, which is cool. Like I said, I'm more of like the Baby kind of music.
Yeah,
But I mean, I can fuck with Juice WRLD too. It's like something that you can like listen to like on a car ride or something. So it's just cool to hear like different viewpoints on the hip hop world today because it's definitely changed over the years. To
yeah,
me, at
for
least.
sure. There's definitely people that hate it, people that like it. Um, I mean, obviously, the type of music that's extremely hot at the moment is going to always change. But no matter what type of rap you like I said, you're going to find somebody that's making that type of music these days.
Right, right. So who are your main supporters right now?
Definitely my parents. Just supporting everything I do, sharing my music.
Right.
My girlfriend Alexis, she is the one that's always pushing me to keep going whenever I get down.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then all my friends, they play my music whenever I'm around. They're playing it even when I'm not around. They're showing it to their friends. So I keep those type of people around me. Helps me stay focused and motivated.
That's good. That's good. Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Wow.
Okay, or like maybe like 3 to 5 years. We'll do that.
All right, 3 to 5 years. I see myself making music full time, making enough money to live off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in college right now, so in 3 years I'll be out. I'll be able to make music, focus on that fully.
Okay.
Um, Definitely just see my sound evolving over those 5 years too. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what it's going to sound like in 5 years, but I know it's going to sound different. Obviously, every artist evolves.
Right.
Um, and yeah, that's about it.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I mean, I'm glad that you didn't say I'm gonna be rich and famous and
No, in 5 years, I mean, if that happens in 5 years, that's great. But honestly, if I can make enough to support myself, I'm gonna keep going with it.
Right.
I don't need like the big bag. That'd be nice, but
But yeah,
you take
no.
what you get.
And I think that's good too that you're not all in it for the money and the fame because once that comes, I mean, you see it in the news. Once they get money, they start doing dumb shit and you know, then
No,
their
for
career is
sure,
over before it even started.
definitely. I even think like when I first started, when I was like 17, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be rich and famous one day, just making this music. But as time went on, I'm like, like I can actually express myself through the music, and I can make stuff that I like listening to, and that other people like listening to, regardless of if it's gonna get me rich or famous. So
Right, right. And I think that that mindset needs to stay that way because like I said, your career can be over just like that once you
yeah,
get
for
that
sure.
money. With that being said though, would you, if the opportunity came, would you want to be signed to a label or would you want to stay independent?
So it would heavily depend on like what the deals of the contract are.
Right.
Um, I would prefer to stay independent because it's been working out for me so far. I've been steadily growing, and I don't mind growing like slowly, as long as the progress is there. Um, but if a label came through with the right offer and it made sense just for me and my future, I would definitely sign.
Right. Right. And I only ask these questions so you know mentally that, you know what you're getting yourself into because that's one of the things, the contract, they'll be long and they'll be tricky.
Yeah,
So it's good that you already know like they be playing games sometimes, but if it's all there, it could be definitely worth it, and I always like to educate people on just the things that I've seen because, I'm in LA. I see it almost every day. People getting ripped off by their contracts. I mean, you even see it with like Tory Lanez and, the baby had some problems. So I just always like to educate these upcoming artists that if you do sign with the label, definitely be careful, definitely read everything, make sure that you're getting the deal that you want.
Yeah, for sure. Like labels can help you get big. They obviously have the connections and stuff, but it's going to come at a pretty big price. So
Right, exactly. They do is just throw money in your face and get you big, and then they're like, okay, we want our money back.
yeah, exactly.
Right. Okay, well, if you could, you know give advice to anybody coming up, you already gave one really big chunk of advice, but if you had any other advice to any other upcoming artists, what would you say?
Definitely something that I'd like to say. It took me up until a couple months ago to figure this out. When you're making music, you got to find your own sound. Definitely don't try to sound like other people. When I was dropping stuff on SoundCloud, I'd try to make I would find a song by Roddy Ricch and try to make something like it, or find a song like Drake and try to make a song like that. But you can tell when someone's music is like not what they're feeling or like their actual sound. And I promise once you find your own sound and make music that you enjoy, it's a lot more rewarding.
No, I definitely agree. Definitely agree. Your sound is who you are. So, you want people to like your sound for who you are, not try to be somebody else, because then when you do find your sound and you do put it out, people are going to be like, what the hell? Like, that's not you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that
So
is really good advice.
definitely spend the beginning of your career trying to find your sound. Once you find it, perfect that sound.
Definitely, definitely. Well, thank you for tuning in to the podcast. And I'm so glad that you reached out. And I hope, within the few months and the years that you get to where you want to be and you keep dropping music. And, when you have new stuff, you're always welcome to be on the podcast where, if you're ever in LA, we could do it in person. I'm always here to help you. So if you ever want to drop by the podcast, let me know. We can schedule it. I'm here to help you. So thank you
Yeah,
for tuning in.
for sure. Thanks for having me. Definitely if I ever go out to LA, I'll let you know. And I definitely plan to be back eventually, hopefully with a lot of progress.
Of course, of course. Well, thank you. You guys tune in next week for our next episode. Thank you.
See you guys.